What's up, guys? Today I'm going to work on my carburetor on this bike. I'm going to take it apart and see if it's all gunked up, because I tried starting it yesterday and it didn't want to start. So I'm wondering if I had some bad fuel, plus I've been letting it sit, and fuel's really bad for these carbs. The floats down here, or the float bowls, get full of gunk and it doesn't want to suck up fuel. And I didn't realize this, but I actually have a double carburetor. So I got one on this side, come over here, and I got the other one on this side, and it's two different carburetors. So I'll have to take that apart, and so I will take it out, and then I will show you it when it's on the workbench. What's going on, guys? Here we go. Here's the carburetor I have. It's the Mikuni. It's a Mikuni brand. You can see it right there, just on the side, if you could read that. And then this carburetor has some of them do, some of them don't, but this one has a diaphragm inside. So I'll tear it apart and show you guys pieces. So you take off the, I'm going to actually do the float bowl first, and I'll show you guys that one. Alrighty, so here's the inside of the float. Inside of the float, right here, you have a jet. And the way to tell if those are good or bad is a little tiny pinhole in there gets crammed up, and that's actually a big issue that a lot of that the biggest issue of carburetors have is that little hole in there gets crammed up. Then you have your floats right here. You want to make sure those are just not falling apart or anything. Let me clean this out really quick. They're actually not too bad either. They're actually a lot cleaner than I was expecting them to be. You want to clean them out. Use carb cleaner or something that's really good at breaking down stuff, or breaking down some of this gunk inside, and then just try to clean it out. But it's actually not that bad. The lid, though, so you can see, if you can see on the inside of it, it's got kind of a brownish color to it. And that's from some of the ethanol that is in fuel. So we'll clean this out really quick. And they just want to use a toothbrush. You don't want to use something hard, because you don't want to mess up the inside of these. And when it comes to the jets, you want to be really careful with those, because they're brass. And so you don't want to use something really hard. You want to use another piece of brass or something off of like a wire brush or something to keep it from ruining it. So, even though there wasn't a whole lot in this, the water still turned a little bit brown, or not the water, but the cleaner turned a little bit brown. And so, maybe something came off. So, we'll just let that dry. Then we can check this, check this dude out right here, the jet. You want to be careful because they're brass. So you don't want to push too hard and then end up breaking. Otherwise, you'll start replacing parts. Take him out, and wow, there's actually nothing in it. It's actually really clean. Okay, cool. So I don't have to worry about that guy then. Let's take this washer out though. It looks a little dirty. Yeah, you just want to be careful with all the little parts. So we'll clean this guy off. It's a little dirty. It's not too bad still. But yeah, the biggest problem with carburetors is they get all gunked up and all the little holes in the jets and whatever. They all clog up and then you can't get your fuel through it. So yeah, that's actually fairly clean. So we'll put that back. We'll put that guy back in. Come on. There we go. Yeah, you don't want to tighten this too much, or you'll start ripping the threading off. But right there, it's nice and tight. So we'll put this guy back together. Now I think it's just a float moving. Now on this side, on the top side of it, you have a diaphragm and a big spring. So when you take the top off of this one, you got to be careful not to let that spring shoot out and break or get lost. So we'll take this one off. You want to be careful not to strip these screws either, because sometimes they get pretty stuck on there. So you just got to be careful on pulling these screws off. See it right there? You got that spring in there. See if I can do this one hand. There's a lot of tension, or there's not a ton of tension on it, but there's enough that it'll pop it out and make it go flying. See, there's that spring. Just pull the spring out. Looks pretty good still. And these diaphragms, you want to be careful with them. And then you want to see if they have any little pinholes on them. And this one looks pretty decent. I already did the other one, and that one looked pretty good as well. But they're the exact same carburetor. So, yeah, you just want to make sure there's no little pinholes and that it's not like falling apart or anything. This one actually looks really good as well. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like it's not getting any fuel, but the carburetors look clean. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on. Maybe it's just got out like timing is off or something. Just make sure this is nice and flat when you put it back in. And it kind of just falls in there anyways. Then we'll put this spring back on top. Try not letting it come flying out. Yeah, other carburetors don't have the diaphragms in them. They have a main jet and then a pilot jet, and those ones are a little bit easier. Alrighty, well, I will get back at you when I get as I put the carburetor back in.